I had myself muted. That's not very smart, is it? Well, this makes for a good test, certainly. Is good, is good. All right. Let's see. Mm-hmm. Do. Here we go. Da, 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 da. Oh. Hmm. Well, I'm a little in the way. Okay. Do. Oh, there's a little bit of a interesting. Okay. See. Hmm. Alrighty then. What is that called? Why can't I remember the name of it? It is. Oh, I know. Mm-mm-mm. Do. Ooh. Where is it? There. Haha. Big brain move. Like that. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. Oh, hey. Behave. Okay. Uh-huh. Options so I don't get deafened. Okay, that's actually good. That's actually pretty good. That was dumb. Okay, it's alright. I can do this. Oh, that was dumb. That was also dumb. There's dumb happening here. Okay, well, it's getting less dumb. Yeah. Yes. That's so creepy the way that says that. That is so creepy. It just whispers it. Level up. This is a very rough decision. Alright. Give me better choices to make. Oh, this sucks. Okay. For real. So close. And yet so far. Well, this isn't boding well. This sucks. Help. Total utter failure. Alright. Help. Oh, don't be so creepy. Seriously. Oh my god. Stop. Yeah, I'm doomed. At this point, I have completely screwed myself. Death. Alright. Death. Explode kid. F. F? I don't know what F is. It's only an F. Okay. The stream's current bitrate. Interesting. Okay. That's interesting. Pay your respects. Pay my respects. To who? To who? Hello. Hello. F equals pay your respects. Hmm. Are we talking in code? Because I'm not good at talking in code, as might be evident. What you doing? Just kind of hanging out? It's interesting it doesn't show up on the chat at all. Should do away with that then for now. And we'll just make this bigger. And move me out of the way. So do you just like to lurk? Did you want to chat? Not sure if you can hear me. Interesting. Oh, ouch. Do you have to be up early or anything? Been there. Been there. Do you have something to do in the morning? Like, are you going to be able to get your sleep later? Inquiring minds want to know. The gonna regret it later generally entails that you've got something to do. Oh, ouch. Ouch, man. Ouch. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. Been there. I understand 100%. I understand. Oh, man, that sucks. Well, I was just playing some Tetris. This is like first stream ever. So this is like my testing it all out and seeing what works, what doesn't. So you are like the first person I have ever spoken to. How do you like that? It's something. So I'm glad you're up. That's kind of nice. So do you like games or do you generally just like talking or or do you like stories? I actually love reading. Aw, thank you. That's so sweet. Yay. My avatar is actually going to change. This is just the 3D start off, which is eventually going to have to be edited. But I have live 2D coming, so not too worried. I'm actually really excited about it. There's nothing quite like having artists working on things for you. It's a very unique experience, I think. You like it? Oh my goodness. Well, would you like it if I read you a story? I can do that. Oops, bump my mic. Okay, let me pull something up here. Let's change the setting first of all, because I did. I did. Isn't that terrible? Awful. Awful stuff. Terrible, I tell you. It's interesting that you could pick that up. Well, I know you're paying attention. Let me see here. Yes, it's a terrible habit and one I intend to get rid of. But for now, it is a thing. It's a thing. All right. How about the Frog King? Yeah, it is. It's a terrible thing. It is. And like I said, I intend to stop very soon. So, because it's just not a good thing. Yeah, everybody knows that. All right, but how about the Frog King? It is a story, actually from the Brothers Grimm, and it's one of the old original stories. This isn't one of the ones that has been Disneyfied, which means we may be having language in here that is older. You know what I'm talking about? Older English. So some of the words may seem off or strange, but generally you should be able to understand it all. And if there's something that you don't understand, you can just let me know. How does that sound? I love reading. It helps me sleep too. So, the Frog King, also called Iron Henry. In old times, when wishing still helped one, there lived a king whose daughters were all beautiful. But the youngest was so beautiful that the sun itself, which has seen so much, was astonished whenever it shone in her face. Close by the king's castle lay a great, dark forest, and under an old lime tree in the forest was a well. And when the day was very warm, the king's child went out into the forest and sat down by the side of the cool fountain. And when she was dull, she took a golden ball and threw it up on high and caught it, and this ball was her favorite plaything. Now, it so happened that on one occasion, The princess's golden ball did not fall into the little hand which she was holding up for it, but onto the ground beyond, and rolled straight into the water. The king's daughter followed it with her eyes, but it vanished, and the well was deep, so deep that the bottom could not be seen. On this she began to cry, and cried louder and louder, and could not be comforted. And as she thus lamented, someone said to her, "What ails thee, king's daughter? Thou weepest so that even a stone would show pity." She looked round to the side from whence the voice came, and saw a frog stretching forth its thick, ugly head from the water. "Ah, old water splasher, is it thou?" she said. "I am weeping for my golden ball which has fallen into the well." "Be quiet." Excuse me, my voice. "Be quiet and do not weep," answered the frog. "I can help thee, but what wilt thou give me if I bring thy plaything up again?" "Whatever thou wilt have, dear frog," said she, "my clothes, my pearls and jewels, and even the golden crown which I am wearing." The frog answered, "I do not care for thy clothes, thy pearls and jewels, or thy golden crown, but if thou wilt love me, and let me be thy companion and playfellow, and sit by thee at thy little table, and eat off thy little golden plate, and drink out of thy little cup, and sleep in thy little bed, if thou wilt promise me this, I will go down below and bring thee thy golden ball up again." "Oh yes," said she, "I promise thee all thou wishest, if thou wilt, but bring me back my ball again." She, however, thought, "How the silly frog does talk! He lives in the water with the other frogs, and croaks, and can be no companion to any human being." But the frog, when he had received this promise, put his head into the water and sank down, and in a short while came swimming up again with the ball in his mouth, and threw it on the grass. The king's daughter was delighted to see her pretty plaything once more, and picked it up and ran away with it. "Wait, wait," said the frog. "Take me with thee. I can't run as thou can." But what did it avail him to scream his croak, croak after her as loudly as he could? She did not listen to it, but ran home and forgot the poor frog, who was forced to go back into his well again. The next day, when she had seated herself at the table with the king and all the courtiers, and was eating from her little golden plate, something came creeping, splish splash, splish splash, up the marble staircase, and when it had got to the top it knocked at the door and cried, "Princess, youngest princess, open the door for me." She ran to see who was outside, but when she opened the door, there sat the frog in front of it. Then she slammed the door to in great haste, sat down to dinner again, and was quite frightened. The king saw plainly that her heart was beating violently, and said, "My child, what art thou so afraid of? Is there perchance a giant outside who wants to carry thee away?" "Ah, no," replied she, "it is no giant, but a disgusting frog." "What does a frog want with thee?" "Ah, dear father, yesterday as I was in the forest sitting by the well playing, my golden bell fell into the water, and because I cried so, the frog brought it out again for me. And because he so insisted, I promised him he should be my companion. But I never thought he would be able to come out of his water. And now he is outside there, and wants to come in to me." In the meantime, it knocked a second time and cried, "Princess, youngest princess, open the door for me. Dost thou not know what thou saidst to me yesterday by the cool waters of the fountain? Princess, youngest princess, open the door for me." Then said the king, That which thou hast promised must thou perform. Go and let him in. She went and opened the door, and the frog hopped in and followed her step by step to her chair. There he sat and cried, "Lift me up beside thee." She delayed until at last the king commanded her to do it. When the frog was once on the chair, he wanted to be on the table. And when he was on the table, he said, "Now push thy little golden plate nearer to me, that we may eat together." She did this, but it was easy to see that she did not do it willingly. The frog enjoyed what he ate, but almost every mouthful she took choked her. At length he said, "I have eaten and am satisfied. Now I am tired. Carry me into thy little room, and make thy little silken bed ready, and we will both lay down and go to sleep." The king's daughter began to cry, for she was afraid of the cold frog, which she did not like to touch, and which was now to sleep in her pretty, clean little bed. But the king grew angry and said, "He who helped thee when thou were in trouble ought not afterwards to be despised by thee." So she took a hold of the frog with 2 fingers, carried him upstairs, and put him in a corner. But when she was in bed, he crept to her and said, "I am tired. I want to sleep as well as thou. Lift me up, or I will tell thy father." Then she was terribly angry, and took him up and threw him with all her might against the wall. "Now thou wilt be quiet, odious frog," said she. But when he fell down, he was no frog, but a king's son with beautiful, kind eyes. He, by her father's will, was now her dear companion and husband. Then he told her how he had been bewitched by a wicked witch, and how no one could have delivered him from the well but herself, and that tomorrow they would go together into his kingdom. Then they went to sleep, and next morning when the sun awoke them, a carriage came driving up with 8 white horses, which had white ostrich feathers on their head, and were harnessed with golden chains, and behind stood the young king's servant, Faithful Henry. Faithful Henry had been so unhappy when his master was changed into a frog that he had caused 3 iron bands to be laid round his heart, lest it should burst with grief and sadness. The carriage was to conduct the young king into his kingdom. Faithful Henry helped them both in and placed himself behind again, and was full of joy because of this deliverance. And when they had driven a part of the way, the king's son heard a cracking behind him as if something had broken. So he turned round and cried, "Henry, the cage is breaking." "No, master, it's not the carriage or the cage. It's a band from my heart, which was put there in my great pain when you were a frog and imprisoned in the well." Again and once again, while they were on their way, something cracked, and each time the king's son thought the carriage was breaking, but it was only the bands which were springing from the heart of Faithful Henry, because his master was set free, and he was happy. And that is the end. Now, it's interesting when you read these old stories, the originals, because what you discover is they sure have changed it a lot and added a lot, haven't they? I don't know if you ever heard the version of this story that's in books these days, but it's quite different. Because I believe in the current stories, she has to kiss the frog in order for him to turn into a prince. But in the original story, she throws him against a wall, which is quite different, I think. Not exactly a kiss, right? Exactly. Poor frog. I don't know. Like, he took it pretty well. Like, she throws him against a wall, which has gotta hurt. He turns into a prince, and then he's nice to her. If it was me, I'm telling you, I wouldn't have been so nice. I would have been like, "You threw me against a wall." I'm going home. You stay here. Oh my goodness. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what it was. But this is the original story. And originally, yeah, that didn't happen. She threw him against a wall. Not exactly the nicest princess. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Let's see. It's funny how this works because if I look at it, it tells me that nobody's here at all. But then, I mean, clearly you're here and I'm talking to you. So, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. It is interesting, though. I don't know. Why do you feel old now? Why do you feel old? Tell me, why do you feel old? I'm here, like, just trying to figure out how this all works. I'm, I'm like, what is even happening? Yeah, it tells me there are 0 viewers waiting and 0 people waiting, 0 likes. I don't really understand this. I'll be totally honest. I don't really understand this. Yeah, so do I, though. So do I. I remember this from my childhood. And, but in my childhood, like I said, the version I'm reading is the original. So this is the story as they would have told it a very, very long time ago. I mean, we're talking like back in the days when there were princesses. A ghost. Well, I'm okay with that because, you know, I'm you're a ghost, but I'm a dryad. So, we're all good. Just saying. I can hang out with ghosts. Sure, why not? I mean, my feet are just, you know, roots. So, just saying. Did I make you feel sleepy with the story? Did I? Did I? Hmm? Hmm? Inquiring minds want to know. See, look, I got big so I can look at you and be like, hey, what you doing, ghost? No, not sleepy. Well, my goodness. Well, and you're a ghost. So, do ghosts sleep? Because, I mean, technically, if you think about it, they're see through. So, if they close their eyes and their eyelids are see through, then wouldn't they just see right through? Actually, they aren't cat ears. And once I get no, they're not cat ears. Once I get my Live 2D, which is being worked on, it's actually just moss. It's just moss and leaves and shaped into cat ears because if you see my little black kitty, you see my little black kitty? So I like to shape my hair into cat ears. Not because I'm a cat, but because I'm a cat mom and I love my kitties. Anything to do with kitties. I love cats. And there is nothing wrong with that. But no, I'm not a cat. That's why I don't have a tail. If I were a cat, I should have a tail. And I don't. No, because there's not a kitty. But I love kitties. And that little black kitty right there, that's Coo. My little cuckoo. And he goes everywhere with me. And a version of him is being drawn as well. Because he actually has much bigger ears than this kitty. Very, very cute. I love cats. Oh my god, I love cats. I really do. I have two, and one of them is actually a little black cat named Coo. And I'm having him drawn to be identical to him. Yeah, see, he's on the counter there. But I will have a version of him actually drawn in anime style soon. And as soon as I get it, of course, then I'll replace the little black cat. And then it'll be one that looks exactly like my real Coo. So, yeah, I love cats. Cats are like one of the few things that like I just can't do without in life. They're just so amazing. I love animals. Well, they can be. I think the thing is it's important to set expectations when you have an animal. Like a lot of people get an animal, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but yeah, but it occurs to me that people get an animal a lot and they like have an idea in their head of what that animal's going to need and what it's going to be like. You know what I'm saying? But the fact is that you have to not do that. You have to look at it as, okay, this is what cats are like. This is what cats actually enjoy doing. And if you do all that, then you expect the problems that might occur with an animal, right? So, for instance, the destroying things, right? Like cats have to scratch in order to keep their nails sharp and also, from growing because they just keep growing. So, it's important. It's an actual part of their nature, it's built into their DNA. And other things like Coo likes toilet paper rolls. I don't know if your sister's cats do, but I have to hide the toilet paper. I can't even put it on the roll holder because I'll wake up in the morning and he'll have the whole thing unrolled on the floor. And he just looks at me with this innocent look of, what? I wasn't doing anything. But he was. Oh, he was. He's also shredded my shower curtain. I have to go buy a new one because he was climbing the shower curtain. He's like a little panther. He's so cute. But yeah, cats can be a problem. No matter what animal you have, there's going to be issues. It just, depending on the animal, depends on the kind of issue you're going to have. With dogs, you have to walk them, you know? So you're going to have to take time out of your day and walk them every so often. And there's also the issue of growling and stuff. Oh, so see, yeah. Like every animal's different. I had a mouse once. Oh, it was so cute. Very, very cute. I had a garter snake once. Do you want to hear the funniest garter snake story in the whole world? Because I've always been trouble. And it's a funny story. All right. So when I was young, I went out to the snake pits and I found a pit full of little garter snakes and they were babies. And so I took one and I brought it home to be my pet. And I loved it very, very, very much. And it was all going fine until I decided to take it over to my uncle's house with me because I wanted to introduce him to my snake. So I took my snake into his house and then I took it out so that I could show it to him. And then it slithered out of my hands and I couldn't catch it and it got away and I couldn't find it. But he wasn't looking when it happened. So I, as a kid, was of course like, well, there's no way I'm going to tell him, right? Because I don't want to get in trouble because there's a snake loose in his house. So I didn't tell him. I just pretended it didn't happen. Well, everything was fine, but he had found out from my mom that I had lost my snake. And he was like, well, it better not be in my house. Well, it was winter at the time. And so spring comes around and he opens up the basement and he didn't use the basement ever. But he decided he was going to go get something from the basement. And he opens the basement in the spring. Well, ends up my brother had also gotten a snake and he had also lost it in his house. I guess one was a boy and one was a girl because he opened up his basement and it was a snake pit. And then, not even lying, they had to demolish the house because it was a literal snake pit and they had to get all the snakes out. Oh my God. I was never allowed a snake again. Ever. Yeah. Literally, my poor uncle lost his entire house over my snake. Yeah, no more snakes for me. Oh dear. Lesson learned. I laugh now, but at the time, I mean, it was very serious, you know? I mean, like, he lost his house. So, yeah, that's a big oops. But looking back now, it's hilarious because I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. And could you imagine the absolute horror that he experienced when he opened that door? That's like straight out of Indiana Jones. That's crazy. I would have, if me as an adult, I would have flipped out. Oh no, did it? Did you ever manage to get it back? Do you live in an area where a parrot can survive outside? I hope so. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I mean, as kids, right? I mean, as kids, we all make mistakes. We all gotta learn. Having a parrot must have been so cool. That's great. Ah, I can't fly. Yeah, it's okay. Neither can I. That's great. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, yeah. Maybe, right? Yeah. I mean, it might have had like, you know, homing, parrot homing beacon for burbs. Burbs. I hope so. I like to think positively, especially about animals. I actually like I all my life I can't watch movies about animals where they get hurt or I cry. Even if the animal dies at the end, I'll cry. Like I'll just be weeping even if I'm in the public in a theater. Yeah, ferrets stink. Ferrets stink. I've never had one because I can't stand the smell. They look cute, but I can't have anything that smells that bad. I just can't do it. But oh man, they're cute little things, aren't they? So adorable. Wow. So, parrots, that must have been neat. Did they talk? Did they learn to talk well? Parrot burb. Ew. Ew. No stinky animals. I mean, all animals kind of stink now and then, but I just don't want one that stinks no matter what you do. Birds are so cool, but the problem is they'll just poop anywhere. Like you can't, I don't think you can litter train them. I wonder, a toilet trained bird, that would be cool. I love birds, but I'm always paranoid that, like, if birds are flying overhead, that one was gonna poop on me. I just, you know, flying bombs. Flying bombardiers. You gotta watch them birds, they're tricky. Or any animal that climbs above you. Because any animal that climbs above you could poop on you, and it's just not okay. Oh, 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 that's sad. I've never seen a parrot in real life. Well, I mean, I've seen them in zoos, but you know what I mean. Not up close like that. I could see they would be very easily, like, to attach to. Aw, now I feel bad. I soy. I soy. That's really sad. Hmm. Do you have many pets now? Oh, it was the ferrets that passed away? Ah, that's funny. Oh my goodness. Well, that's good. You know, at least you weren't all broken-hearted. That's important. I don't know. I get too attached to animals, and then if anything happens to them, I'm just heartbroken. So now zero. No animals. Yeah, I got my two kitties, and they drive me absolutely insane. They are total brats, but I love them. They're always causing me trouble. And Coo, my little black one, oh my god, he doesn't meow, he squeaks like a really high pitched squeak. So it's kind of like half cat, half mouse. Oh, aw, that sucks. How terrible. Well, that's awful. What is this thing trying to do? Yeah, I mean animals, they'll do that to you. I assume that's what you're talking about, right? Yes. No. Maybe. Because I thought you were talking about parrots and then you were talking about ferrets. Look at that. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Oh, oh, that sucks. I am sorry to hear that. All right. Well, this has been fun. It's been nice. And I'm very grateful and glad that you stopped by. This was meant to be just a short kind of test as the first one. But thank you so much for stopping by. I really, really appreciate it. And I'm probably going to end it here. It's pretty late over here. I hope you get some rest. Yeah, yeah, for sure. But I will have to get going. But I will be back. I will make a schedule and then I will be on. And hopefully I can catch you again. Aw, thank you so much. I really appreciate it very, very much. You have a wonderful night, and I'm going to end the stream, okay? Yeah, go get some sleep. Don't be silly. All right, you have a great night. Yes, absolutely. I have to make up a schedule, but I will probably be doing this very regularly, probably around the same time, maybe a little bit earlier. So, absolutely, I hope I see you next time. And if you subscribe to the channel, then I will do my best to put up a schedule. Okay? All right. See you. Have a good sleep.